Congratulations, you have just passed your driving test in Ireland, which feels like winning the lotto. But once that pink license arrives and the end plates go on your car, the real education begins. While the RSA teaches you how to reverse around a corner, they don't always mention the hidden bosses of Irish driving. Since we've already looked at what annoys experienced drivers, as well as tutorials on how to drive properly, let's flip the script this time. Here is the definitive ranking of the things that you must know as a new driver, from the lifestyle adjustments to the license ending traps. As you learn to drive in your lessons, you drove for around an hour max, with someone taking you around every turn. Maybe you did a longer drive with your parents, but your first solo spin to a big city or a weekend car meet is a completely different beast entirely. So why exactly is this difficult? Well, it's due to a thing called driver fatigue. Driver fatigue is real, and it hits novices harder. Because you're still using 100% of your brain capacity just to process road signs and lane positioning, you'll be exhausted much faster than a veteran driver. Driver fatigue is one of the biggest killers on our roads, and is proven to be even worse than driving under the influence of alcohol. The solution? Don't be a hero. Plan to stop every hour or so. Use Waze or Google Maps so you aren't panicking about road signs at 100 km an hour. The Irish driving test is a test of compliance, not car control. You've learned how to follow the rules, but you probably haven't learned about what to do when the car stops following them. Whether it's black ice or a bareen of understeer on a greasy road, the test does not prepare you for those oh crap moments. This is where sim racing like Assetto Corsa is your friend, or a day on a skid pan school like Mondello Park, or even Rally School Ireland. Here, learning what limit handling feels like before you find it in an accident. Rally schools and driving courses are also really fun. Sim racing is also fun and educational way to learn how a car behaves without leaving your house, but actually going out and doing it for real is a completely different experience. And sure, it may cost a couple quid, but like I said earlier, it is a great time. I've done it once, I can't wait to do it again. You might think that the red end tells people, please give me space, I'm learning. However, to some drivers it actually says, I'm a slow dickhead, overtake me immediately, regardless of safety. End plate aggression is a documented phenomenon. You will be tailgated while doing the speed limit, and people will pinch gaps at roundabouts, assuming you'll be too hesitant to go. My advice is to expect the bullying, but don't react to it. Sticking to your training is better than getting a speeding fine because of a transit van was sniffing your bumper. Now that you have your car, you want it to look the part, alloys, a new head unit or lowering springs, or maybe you just want a good price for insurance in your first year. Seems harmless, right? Well, be sure to pay up because in Ireland, insurance companies treat novice drivers like they are criminals. Even the most subtle of aesthetic mods can be used to avoid a policy if they aren't declared. Some insurers would even hit you with a loading fee just for changing the radio. To play it safe, always call the insurer before you buy the part. It is far better to have a boring car that's fully covered than a cool one that leaves you legally exposed. However, declaring mods isn't even the most important lesson here, as modifying a car is pretty niche. But the ability to find the best price is the most important lesson. You gotta keep looking around, get quotes online and make phone calls with brokers. They usually give you better prices over the phone as every penny saved on insurance is earned. If you have no previous experience or no claims bonus, it's going to be a very expensive quote, so make sure you get it as low as possible. Would you want to pay an extra €200 for the same thing? Didn't think so. This is the most critical thing to remember. As a novice, your life bar is nearly half the size of everyone else's. Experienced drivers get 12 points before disqualification. As a novice, you only get 7, meaning that it is terrifyingly easy to lose your license in year 1. Got a minor speeding fine? That's 3 penalty points and a €160 fine. Caught on your phone? Also 3 penalty points and a €60 to €90 fine. That's too little in my opinion. Missing your end plates? That's 2 penalty points. And just like that, you've earned yourself 8 penalty points. Meaning that you're now back to a learner permit and starting from 0. So do be extremely careful in the first 2 years of your novice license, because if you lose your car, you lose your independence. Flashing lights. No, not the Kanye West song, has several meanings as you drive along. The use of your high beams are only ever used when the roads were empty and you're driving at night. But once you pass your test, however, the act of flashing them briefly has a different meaning, such as warning incoming motorists of impending dooms down the road. From what I have experienced, these vary from flooding on a bad day to a road blockage, or just a friendly greeting from your friends. But we all know what the main purpose of this is, and this act is mainly there to warn you about the blues and twos. Those heroes on our Irish roads will remind you to slow down a bit, or just double check to see that you're doing the speed limit anyway, which you will be as you just pass your test and your car probably has a black box fitted to it. So do pay extra attention to oncoming motorists as well. If they are flashing at you, make sure you're doing the correct speed, so that you don't avoid massive fines from the police or your insurer. And finally, just get out and drive. Have fun, learn new roads, go meet friends, go meet a girl off Hinge. Literally just go for a drive. Fuel prices aside, it will help you to get to know your car, area and drive better as a result. It's perfect for calming nerves and learning new roads and variations. Plus it's good fun, for me at least anyway. And that's my list. Hope this helps you get over those new driver nerves. And what do you think? What tips do you have? Was there any I missed? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share and subscribe. And finally, thank you all so much for watching. Hope to see you all very soon.